Welcome to Belmont Banter, the official podcast of Whitstable Town FC. Every week we chat to ex-players, supporters and invited guests here on Belmont Banter.
Welcome to the official podcast of Whitstable Town FC.
Whitstable Town Football Club's main sponsor is Fibertech UK Limited.
Well, hello again, everyone, and here we are at Belmont Banter, and today I'm thrilled to bits to say that we've got Glen Barlow with us. Hi, Glenn. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, Tony. Thank you. How's...
Yeah, we're okay. I hope your family and everything's okay, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got the gist of how this starts. Earliest days is the best way, and we'll just go through it. So, what was your earliest memory of football? Kicking around in the garden with your mum, your dad, your brother, your mates? What was it?
It was probably school time, really. I started playing for, obviously, the school team around about 11. Was pretty okay to start with. But then I sort of decided to go down the route of judo. So I put a lot of time and effort into the judo place. And then it was like, you know, should I really be playing football or judo? And in the end, I decided to have a crack at proper football when I was sort of 14, 15. And that was with Thamesview.
All right. What sort of standard were they at then, Thamesview? Was that like a community football?
Yeah, that was just your normal Medway City Boys League. And then at the age of 16, obviously when they'd finished, I decided to have a crack with Sittingbourne. So I got myself into the Sittingbourne under-18s team at 16. That was it, really. It sort of went from there, started to enjoy it. And then I sort of near the end of finishing on the under-18s, it didn't look like I was going to break into the first team. So I decided to go and have a look somewhere else. So I played a little bit for Faversham. And I think Hughie Stinson was the manager of the first team then. And I played some reserve team football, which they used to play. I remember playing at Priestfield against Gillingham. And, you know, back then, fantastic pitch. And to actually be involved in a, you know, professional club, playing on their pitch and changing rooms and the whole setup sort of set me in good stead to sort of feel like, you know, this is what I want to try and achieve if I can.
So that moved you or gave you the impetus to move forward then? Yeah.
And then I remember the chance of trying to get into Faversham, but I played a lot of reserve team football. And then I think I was around about 19 when Gary Allen and Martin Farney approached me for Canterbury. So I decided to go down there and have a crack in the Kent League with Canterbury. That was it, really. From then onwards, I'd always played, you know, that level of football throughout my career. So to start off at Canterbury was a good stepping stone. Obviously, they was the Greyhound track, I think.
Were they in the Southern League when you played for them, or the Kent League?
No, Kent League.
Kent League, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I had about maybe a season and a half there. And then my brother was playing for Sheppey under Mal Watkins. And Mal Watkins put an approach in for me. So I decided to move from Canterbury to Sheppey. And that was, you know, that was a good club. The only problem was they were still sharing.
Was that the time when Mark Lane was the goalkeeper? Were you there when Mark was there?
Yeah, Mark Lane was the goalkeeper there. Yeah, there was obviously Mal Watkins was the manager. He did play sometimes, and then you had Fez, you had Terry Cordice. You know, a lot of great players, and
really good side then, didn't they?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had a really good team. You know, we made some. We wasn't so good consistently in the league, but we done okay. We made a cup final. I remember the cup final, but I missed the penalty in the final part.
Were you always a striker?
No. So I had a spell with Chatham, who Steve Earn decided to play me at right wing back. I think it was maybe because of my fitness and delivery of ball. I do remember, obviously, the forwards that we would have had at Chatham, like sort of Steve Earn and Peter Coupland, you probably settle for any part of playing in any position, really, just to be part of that team. So, yeah, it was just, moving from there.
How long did you actually start Sheppey then?
At Sheppey, I was there for about 4 years. I can never remember, because I've had quite a few clubs, I can never remember where I went from back and forth, because I know I had 2 spells at Lordswood, and I think that was a little spell just before the Chatham spell. But then in between that, there was 2 clubs out of the area that I played for. There's obviously a story why I decided to play out of the area.
Go on then.
It was a Sunday morning game in the senior section, and I got sent off for violent conduct. A little bit of a joke for the reason why I got sent off. So the linesman kept on flagging me offside, and the ball was in front of him. I've gone to retrieve the ball, and a Johan, and shaped up, looking like I was going to kick the ball. Yeah. He obviously flinched and turned his back, and the referee deemed that as violent conduct. So that they sent me off, and they gave me a 120-day ban. So I couldn't play Kent football. And at the time, my brother was in Hampshire, because obviously that's where he lives now, and he's lived there for the last 20 years. Yeah. He said there was a club just up the road from him that played in the Combined Counties, Hartley and Whitney. Mick Woolen was the manager. So I had a little spell there, had a little trial. He liked me. He said, yeah, play a few games. We only had a few games left to the season. So we finished the season, and then we started afresh. So I put everything into it to start up there, and hit the ground running, scored 7 goals in 3 games. We was top of the league. And then we played about 15 games, and I had scored 16 goals. And then there was Redhill, Bill Tucker. Do you remember Bill Tucker?
The name I can remember. I get the name, but
yeah, he would have been known for Tunbridge Wells.
Oh, right. I still had my head in Hampshire. I was trying to think of him there.
Sorry, yeah. So Redhill was in the Sussex, Sussex
League,
camp. Yeah, Sussex League. So basically, I then said, he's approached me. He said, I want you to come and play here. I'll double your money. And it was closer to home. So I just thought, do you know what? I'd like to try that. They wasn't in a very good position. I think they was in the bottom 3. But the season went on to be a good season for me, scoring 25 in 23. We needed to stay up. On the last day of the season, we needed a win. So all season we were still struggling, even though I'd scored that many goals. We was needing to win the last game, and we did. We won it. We stayed up. Then Bill Tucker decided he wanted to go upstairs as director of football, and then a guy from Millwall came in to take over. But then I had a lot of interest because of the goals I'd scored in that season. Three Bridges wanted to sign me, and I decided to go there because, again, they decided that they wanted to pay more money, so I had to try there. But it didn't really work out. After about 10 games, things weren't. I don't know. I suppose it's completely different when you're playing, and then you've got a lot of the managers that I played under. Those 2 managers tend to give me that little bit of a encouragement of a bit of freedom, a bit of confidence, really, just to go out and express yourself. And I think that's probably why I've done so well for those 2 clubs.
Yeah, if a manager's got faith in you and he basically just tells you, go out and do your usual thing, you're away, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it was from there, from Three Bridges, I decided to call it a day and come back home. And Paul Piggott was the manager at Lordswood. So that was where I was heading. Although I did have a few games with Mark Beanie at Sittingbourne.
Yeah.
And again, I can't pinpoint times and dates for that little spell there.
Where was Sittingbourne playing at the time? Were they in the The main pitch or
No.
down on the bottom pitch?
Down on the bottom pitch.
All right, okay.
But again, it was like probably just I didn't get the. I do remember going to places like Dorchester away and fantastic pitches and loved it. I loved the fact that was such more professional in that next level up.
Yeah, because they were then in the Southern League, weren't they?
Yeah. I must add actually that I was approached by Graham Roberts at Carl Shorten in that time of playing for Red Hill and Three Bridges.
Yeah, because you put yourself in the window down that sort of Sussex area, haven't you?
Exactly. Like my name was in the paper, scoring so many goals.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, I wish I would have taken him up on it, but it was proposed to be, we need a backup striker, obviously play the reserves, come in, do the business. But at the age of 27, 28, I'm thinking, do I want to go and play reserves? I want to just play in the first team. I want to be, scoring goals and stuff. So that cut that short. And then I just decided to go back to Lordswood. And I think, again, there was a spell at Greenwich, a spell at Greenwich with Dave Ward, because he was my assistant manager for half of the season of Red Hill. So he came in, he obviously knew and seen what I'd been doing. So he decided that he wanted to get me in down at Greenwich. And Tamer Hussain was the chairman. Another story that used to crack us up when Tamer used to come into the changing rooms and start giving it all, I'm doing this film, and you listen to that back then, you think to yourself, what's he on about? As if he's going to be a film star. And he was.
I know. Unbelievable, wasn't it?
He done that film, and great film, brilliant film with Danny Dyer. So yeah, when you're listening to people like waffle on and think about what they're doing for filming and stuff, you just think, he ain't doing that. But he was.
He was a larger than life character as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I went back to Lordswood and done okay at Lordswood. I was playing up front with Lillis. Probably got Lillis a lot of goals.
You'll love that.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we didn't see eye to eye, but yet when we was playing together, we was doing really well. I don't know whether it comes to being two centre forwards wanting to score so many goals and he's scoring or I'm scoring. For whatever reason, we didn't really see eye to eye, but it still worked. We still played together. And there was one time that happened. Me and Wayne was playing for Lordswood under Piggy, and I got sent off in a Vars game, and Wayne got sent off 20 minutes later. My sending off was me clean through on goal, and I've just literally shoved the defender off, put my arm out, and the referee deemed that as an elbow. So I'm clean through on goal, so I'm just trying to push him away. And then Wayne, I think we obviously was losing the game. Wayne was trying to retrieve the ball and someone in the crowd was winding him up, keeping the ball. So Wayne wrestled the ball off him. The referee sent him off for that. Down to 9. Yeah, not a good day for Lordswood then. So that was pretty much, I think I took it up to about 30, 31. And then I decided to call it a day and play with Blythe Spartans, who played in the Kent County, and that was Matt Hume. He was a manager at the club.
Whitstable Town Football Club's main sponsor is Fibertech UK Limited.
So I decided to go there and done really well. We had some great seasons, met some new, young footballers. Decided to finish my career there. Played all the way through till about 37, and they had a really talented team that was playing in the Kent Invicta. So to try and win the Kent Invicta to get into the Kent League was something that they went on and achieved.
Yeah.
And then he decided to step down as the manager. He didn't want to do it no more. He had too much stuff going on at home and work and stuff. So basically, they offered me the job, the managerial job, and it was a no-brainer for me, really, to accept that.
Is it something that you'd always wanted to do then?
I wouldn't have said that was on my list, but if someone's offered you the chance to do it at that level, it's something you've got to take. If you feel like you've got the chance to do it and you feel like you can do it, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But I thought to myself, I need to have a crack at this. This won't come along again unless you put a lot of time and effort into, becoming a manager, i.e. doing badges and stuff like that.
So who was your first game against then?
First game was against Phoenix in the Charity Shield game.
Decent side.
Yeah, so they won. We obviously won the league. They won the cup, and then we played them, and we beat them. I think we beat them in extra time. So first game in charge, win a trophy. So then there was, a whole different ball game of being a player and just concentrating on just yourself, turning up, getting yourself right to do your stuff. Now, to concentrate on doing the manager's side was difficult because I didn't really have anyone that I could turn to. So I just had to get someone in who was someone who's good with coaching. Yeah. So I brought someone in to do the coaching and drafted in as many players as I could possibly get. We done really well. We went in up till Christmas. We was third, and with such a small budget of like £150 a week was absolutely ridiculous when that's what they had the year before. But I had to work with what I had. Yeah. I managed to get Stuart Zanone back from Ashford. He wasn't enjoying it, so he was a major factor for us doing well. In the end, he went to Thamesview round about, I think it was end of October, November time. So we lost him, but we still managed to do okay with the strikers that we had. So it was tough. Along the time, actually, I won Manager of the Month. That was September. So that was again great achievement for myself to be put in, and just like achieve that for first time round, really.
I don't think a lot of people take on board. I mean, I had a really good conversation with Andy Constable about this. I can't remember if it was on air or off air, but Andy got thrust in like that, and he said to me that he's literally on the phone for 2 days, phoning all the contacts he had, and he said he didn't realise what went on behind the scenes as a manager, apart from turning up on a Saturday with a team of players. It's unrelenting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like you say, you're trying to please people. You're trying to get people to play for you. You're trying to get the best out of them. And to this day, I look back, and players back when I was playing 20 years ago are not the same now. I mean, it has been sort of, 7 years ago was when I was doing the managing. So the players were difficult. You had to be careful what you said. Whereas back in the day, I don't think you could almost say anything to any player. It wouldn't really make no difference. You could get him up against the the dressing room, and it still wouldn't. No,
that's very true. Very true. It has changed. I mean, I've stood outside some dressing rooms just earwigging as to what goes on. And my goodness me, sometimes in the old days, you had to walk away. It was unrelenting.
Brutal.
Yeah, brutal. But it's a changed world, and maybe for the best. So, that was then, this is now. How long did you stay as manager then?
Just a year.
Just a year. Was it your choice to go?
Yeah, I felt a little bit hard done by because they cut the money in February completely to nothing. So I couldn't even pay the players 1 penny. So I lost a lot of players that, not so much the fact that, at the end of the day, they was only getting £15, £20, but it was principle that they then have to fund themselves as opposed to just your normal enjoying it. And I think we lost 8 on the spin.
So you went from being third at Christmas.
Yeah,
where did you end up?
I think we ended up 13th.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. I mean, considering. And in the throes of all that, you got Manager of the Month.
Yeah, I was very pleased with that. Stuart Zanone probably won me that, but
you've got someone banging in the goals for you, haven't you?
Yeah, of course you have. Yeah, I mean, because we lost him and we still managed to do okay, but then the two players that were playing up front for me, Anthony Uden and Patrick Bishenden, they got us through. You know, they done okay, but then they both got injured on the same weekend playing Sundays. So I was literally down to, playing people up there that probably wasn't a proper striker. I even thought about getting my boots back on, which I think I did in, maybe it was one of those midweek cup matches I think they played in. We played at Deal away. I remember playing it there, but I think I only played right back.
Yeah.
Very simple, nice position.
Nice position. Not too much running around.
No, not really, no.
Mind you, right back these days, you've got to be a sprinter, haven't you? There's no such thing as a right back now. You're a right wing back or a winger or whatever they want to call it.
At 37, 38, I was still quite quick anyway. Yeah. So I got away with it. It was fine.
Well, I mean, looking at you now, there's no fat on you. I mean, you're still in good shape.
Can't see your belly.
No, I can't see your belly. That's true. So you're just a couple of questions I'd like to ask you. Obviously, you've been in charge of a dressing room as being the manager. But what would you say is probably the best dressing room that you've been in, as far as the crack, the winning team, whatever you want to put on it? What was the best one? And you wanted to go, you wanted to play there. It was the one place you really felt comfortable. I mean, you played for a few clubs, so if you don't want to mention one, give me a couple.
Yeah, well, I'll never ever forget the times that I was almost top man, Red Hill, and I even won Supporters Player of the Year for that year. So, and there's obviously that's always going to stick in my mind. But as it goes to banter, because what I used to do for them, I used to just literally, drive to games, play the game, have one drink, and then I'm coming home.
Yeah.
Whereas it was a little bit different for the likes of the Sheppey days.
Yeah. All your local teams. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the Whitstable, the small spell I had at Whitstable, I just feel like the banter probably was the Sheppey dressing room.
That's good. Who was your manager at Whitstable?
John Roseman.
Oh, John. Oh, dear. Had to be John, didn't it? Yeah. You're talking about old school managers. There's one for you.
Exactly. He was an old school manager, yeah.
He was really, wasn't he? But the thing with John, him and Charlie, they played good cop, bad cop, didn't they?
Yeah. Completely different. I mean, they had good connections with the London lot, so I think that they was always, drafting in players that were coming from London. Yeah, I mean, it was a good dressing room. Yeah, Gary Allen was in there. Yeah,
good player, Gary. Good player. Yeah, well liked around the area. He's played for a number of clubs, but well liked. Good man.
He went on and had a good long career as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So your football days, as it were, finished 7 or 8 years ago now?
Well, not really. I still wanted to play after I'd finished at Rochester. I still felt that I was in good shape to play games, so I just played for Rochester District Premier side. Played there for a few years. I did have some games with Hollands and Blair Vets, but they don't have a team no more. So that was a good time, because you're playing against your old. Yeah. You're playing with your old pals that you played with, and you're over 40. Yeah. That's a great time to. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the boys of similar sort of age to yourself, they've all pointed out that it's an enjoyment for them. It's a way of keeping fit, but it's catching up with your mates again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit time sensitive on these things, and believe it or not, our time's virtually up now. So it's been a real pleasure talking to you, Glenn. It really has.
You too, Tony. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since you've graced the field of Whitstable and anywhere down this way, but it's been some good times. I mean, you had some great times at Ramsgate, but obviously when you went down to Red Hill, that was a a prime time for you down there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. And that was a weird situation you found yourself in, being banned like that for 120 days. That's really bizarre, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't have no choice. There's no way I could have not played football for, that period. And for me to, do the 100-mile trip to Hartley and Witney to start it back up again, almost kicked a completely different, chance of being a player as a centre forward for it. And that comes down, I believe, to the manager by giving me that confidence, the no expectations, just get the ball to him and let him do the business.
One question is still on my mind before you go, and I'm sure everyone else will be thinking about this as well. The 120 days kicked in one season but finished in the other. Was it a concurrent 120 or was it 120 days during the season?
Yeah, so I think it was the last maybe 3-4 weeks of the season, which then kicked into the following season. And that's the reason why I felt like I can't not have a club.
So it wasn't like you had a 3 month break at the end of the season and that counted as part of it. It was It was play. Yeah, I got you now. That's good.
Yeah, and whether I was breaking any rules, as in being sent off in the Kent football, was I really allowed to go and play in a different county? Probably not. I don't know. Let's hope there's no referees listening.
But what a bizarre sending off as well.
Yeah, I know. It was cheeky. I shouldn't have done it. But at the heat of the moment, I was, as Mal Watkins used to call me, Mr. Angry.
Mr. Angry. I think we've all been there when we put a pair of football boots on. Put your football boots on, it changes you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to wind that up now here. So from me here at Belmont Banter and Glen Barlow on the other end of the phone, Glenn, it's been great talking to you today. It really has. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm sure everyone will enjoy hearing your story. So cheers, everyone. Thanks very much. And we'll see you again soon. Bye now.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Whitstable Town Football Club's main sponsor is Fibertech UK Limited. They are providers of optical fibre services to the telecoms industry, specialising in optical fibre provision, local and long haul. We offer a full turnkey solution to our clients throughout London and the south of England. Contact us through the website for more details.
Your host, Tony Rouse, every week on Belmont Banter for news about local football in Kent and beyond.
I do hope that you've enjoyed today's episode of Belmont Banter. Don't forget there's a new episode out every week which comes out on a Sunday night, early Monday morning. And you can leave your suggestions for a guest to invite at the end. And leave a like and don't forget to pass it on to all your mates. Cheers!